get more details on this now and speak to EFF spokesperson Sinawo Thambo. Sinawo, thank you so much for your time. Delusions of grandeur, sensationalist and substantiated allegations. How do you respond?
The foolishness of the IFP is that they're unable to read a basic statement and they are trying to portray the verified with the intelligence reports of the threat to the life of the Secretary-General of the EFF as delusions of grandeur, as if the EFF this morning and just decided to talk about them. We have no interest in the IFP. We've cut ties with the IFP, but our only concern now is that we were approached by the Minister of Police, and he's the one who told our Secretary-General that there will be a threat on his life due to the decision that we have taken to remove the IFP in various municipalities in KZN and even in Gauteng. And the further illusion, perhaps, of the IFP itself is to think that the Secretary-General of the EFF operates outside of a collective when he issues instructions. They think they're going to kill the Secretary-General of the EFF and they're going to intimidate us and they will stay in power. They can't kill all of us. It's a collective decision. So if they want to make sure that they stay in power in the municipalities in KwaZulu-Natal, they'll have to kill all of us in the leadership of the EFF because that decision is ours. We all own it, and we're not intimidated by them. We know their history. We know they're apartheid collaborators. We know they've resolved political differences through violence and murder before. The dawn of democracy in South Africa in 1993 is marked by bloodshed, which was initiated by the apartheid state and executed by the Inkatha Freedom Party. We know them for that, and we're not intimidated by it.
Sinawo, pardon me if I'm making you repeat something, but it's for the sake of clarity. So we've just heard Colonel Athlenda Mate saying that the SAPS doesn't know anything about this and they do not discuss the safety, of course, of individuals in the public domain, but they don't seem to know where these come from. Are you saying that the police minister approached Mr. Dlamini? Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Exactly that. The Minister of Police called the Secretary-General of the EFF and told him that there is escalating political violence in KZN and that may be targeted at him due to the decision that the EFF has taken to remove the IFP and cut all ties with it. To us, Minister Tegekele is the authority of SAPS. So if he doesn't communicate the intelligence reports he receives to the African Police Service subordinates under him, that is his own issue. But to us, he represents South African Police Services. He's got a credible ear into intelligence in this country, and that's why we took this serious.
Did he say where these claims, where these threats are coming from? Because when I see your statement, you're saying that, you've received a briefing from the SAPS that senior leaders of the IFP are plotting to assassinate EFF Secretary-General Marshall Dlamini. Did he say that they come from there and what did he base them on? Just give us a bit more info that you can on this one.
Look, the basis of it is the fact that we're removing the IFP. That is the first and foremost point. There was no animosity between the IFP and the EFF prior to us making the declarations that we're going to remove them from power. Now, whether they're offended by our correct characterizations of them as historical betrayals and people who have been instruments of white supremacy to divide and destroy African communities, maim our people in Boipatong, kill our people in KwaZulu-Natal, if they're offended by that correct history, then so be it. But we know, and we were told by the Minister of Police, that it emanates from the fact that we decided to cut all ties with them and we are going to strip them of the powers they hold in KwaZulu-Natal today. That is the basis of it all.
Did he say how senior or higher up these members are? Because your statement seems to suggest that these are senior leaders. How higher up do they go?
As high as it can go, but the senior leadership of the Inkatha Freedom Party. Now, the Inkatha Freedom Party is not a big party. So one can draw their own conclusions when one says what is a senior leader in the IFP, because you can count them on your left hand. So we don't want to now speak in terms of names and cast aspersions on people. We are still doing our own internal investigations in that regard. And of course, as time goes by, the truth will reveal itself, and the individuals who are part and parcel of the plot are going to be revealed as well. But the statement we issued today, one of the most instructive things from it is that we want society to be conscientized, even members of the IFP, that murder is not a solution to political disagreement. It's not something we agree with, it's not something we condone. So we didn't issue this statement for sensationalism. We didn't issue this statement because we want attention. We are saying we don't want to be taken back to the dark days that the IFP was part of in 1993, where it was massacring our people in order to participate in governance. We are trying to use bloodshed as a leverage in order to maintain power, and we must never allow that.
Has the case been opened?
Not yet. We have not opened the case as yet. We're still exploring all of our options and, of course, still awaiting
All right.
much further revelations in terms of...
So I want to... I want to ask you this question because the party says that is the IFP. They say that your plans have backfired and you are now making these wild allegations or accusations against them. Have your plans backfired? Is that why you are making these allegations according to them? How do you respond?
There's no plan that has backfired. We are moving swiftly with occupied positions of governance, and we've started in the city of Johannesburg. We now have 2 MMCs and chair the municipal the impact committee here in Johannesburg. We'll be moving swiftly to Ekurhuleni, and then we'll be moving swiftly to KwaZulu-Natal. There's nothing that has backfired. We gave the IFP an opportunity since 2016 to govern, and when we went to them, because coalitions are characterized by quid pro quo, they're characterized by mutual respect between parties and understanding that EFF needs to exhibit its capacity to govern as well. So nothing is backfired in that regard. We gave them an opportunity. They spat in our face in service of the DA. Now we've moved on.
So, Sinawo, there's something that maybe I can ask. I'm sure the viewers are wondering. If these claims are coming as higher up as the Minister of Police, why is a case not being opened? Why are the suspects not being brought in? Why are people not being questioned right now? Why is there no case? If these claims of an assassination plot against someone is very, very serious.
Absolutely. Look, we have to explore our options and first and foremost also get a much deeper briefing because the Minister of Police did say that he wants a meeting with the Secretary-General to discuss the matter further. So we don't want to preempt the much more elaborate briefing we can get. And I think if the Minister of Police is going to continue with trying to deny the fact that he gave this briefing to our Secretary-General, the media has a responsibility to call him and ask him, has he called the Secretary-General in the past week? And if he did, what did he call him about? So that we can get a much better clarity on this matter. Because it's inappropriate to try and paint the EFF as a sensation. There's nothing to play with about assassination. We take political claims in South Africa extremely serious. So we're awaiting the briefing that he intended to give to the Secretary-General in order to be able to take steps forward. So there's a phone call. He said he'll give a much more elaborate briefing in a physical meeting, and we're awaiting that before we take steps going forward.
And one wonders why a case is not open and people not arrested, because an assassination plot is not a matter to have a discussion or a meeting about, but we'll try to get answers from the police ministry as well to understand what exactly is going on there. I'll leave it there with you for now, Sinawo, and we are going to be in conversation with the IFP on the other side of the headlines, just to get a sense from them on how do they respond to this one, because this is a very serious story. Let me thank you, Sinawo, for your time. We'll leave it there. That was the EFF spokesperson, Sinawo Thambo. Let's take a recap of the headlines. Remember, we will bring you the IFP to respond to this particular story.